All right. Looks like we're back. Welcome back again, everybody. Some technical issues here. Good morning. Got the mic working. Welcome to the Olympics, to the men's combined alpine skiing event. We're going to be following live here the downhill portion of this event. It is on now, just about to start. I've got the live feed. I can see the test racer heading down the course back in Bormio. After a really eventful weekend, we had Franjo van Almen take gold on Saturday in the men's downhill, and then we had Breezy Johnson take gold yesterday in the women's downhill. All of that overshadowed by the horrific injury and crash again of Lindsey Vonn, who, I'm sorry to say, career now completely over. Maybe should have been over a week ago when she crashed in Crans-Montana and ruptured her ACL and bruised her knee and her bone in her knee and damaged her meniscus. But she wanted to come back and try anyway, with a heavy brace on her left knee. Information that I've been reading now. One, how is she? She's stable. She was transported by helicopter to a local hospital where they realized that the extent of her leg injury was so bad that she needed to go to Treviso, which is the next big trauma center, 2 hours south of Cortina, almost down in Venice. And she had emergency surgery to stabilize an open fracture of her left leg, I think tibia. So an open fracture there. And you know, I made a short yesterday that got 1 million views. Actually, 1 million views. It passed 1 million views this morning about her crash. And a lot of the comments were like, you know, she should do what she wants. It should be her choice. But she put herself in a position where she could get hurt quite badly and, you know, affect the race for other people, when realistically she didn't have a chance at winning or probably even medaling, given her pain and the brace and just the inability to go truly full out. Now you might say, oh, she went all out, but a lot of people were saying it wasn't the knee that caused the injury, and I'm going to disagree here. I'm going to say that Lindsey Vonn's injury is indeed why she took the line she took, and why she crashed. We'll get back to that in a second. We have Stefan Rogentin of Switzerland, the first man on the course. He has just started. He's heading down towards the first time check. He's 11.17 through the first time check. We're going to follow it right here. He is partnered with Eaton of Switzerland. Now we have 21 teams today. Some teams have 3 or 4. The Austrians have 4 entries today. The French have 3. The Swiss have 3. The Norwegians have 2. The Italians have 4. And then Finland has a team. The US has a team. So really, how many countries are actually participating in this? Stefan Rogentin, 53 seconds in, he will be our marker. Czech Republic, so the Czech, Swiss, Czech, Germany, France, Austria, Italy, Finland, USA, Norway. We have 9 countries. 9 countries participating, 21 teams. All right, Stefan Rogentin coming through the second speed trap at 97 kilometers an hour. The third speed trap now at 124 miles an hour. I don't know if this is exactly the same downhill or if it's slightly modified from Saturday's gold medal race. We'll find out. That time was about 1:51, and he's coming down. It looks like it's going to be pretty close to the full length. All right, 135 kilometers an hour for Rogentin. And he is in 1:53.64. So yeah, it looks like they're riding the full course here today. So all right, First racer is down. Czech Republic is next with Jan Zabistran. He'll be teaming up with Muller of the Czech Republic. If you're watching the FIS live timing like I am today, you can see the team's details a little bit more here, although they don't have the biographies in here today for the teams. So he's about to start. Okay, back to Lindsey Vonn real quick. What are people saying? Oh, it wasn't her knee. She hit a gate. Why did she hit a gate? I've been reading as much as I possibly could from other coaches, from people who were there, course marshals and things like this, and people who watched the whole thing over and over again. Right before that hard right turn where she clipped the gate that caused her fall, it is a hard right turn, and the problem is that when you're coming into a hard right turn, but the slope is falling away from you to your left, down to your left, you have to put so much force and pressure on your edge, on your outside ski edge, that you, I mean, the stresses are immense. It's a high speed, it's a traverse, you're on a side slope that goes down to the left while you're prepping for a turn to the right. So you're all on that left leg, on that left leg, on that left leg. So brutal amount of force on Lindsey Vonn's left leg that probably started to cause her pain, which led her to try to take a tighter line to get away from that side slope. And this is what I've been reading from other people, that she ended up taking too tight a line and clipping the gate. I don't know for sure. This is, like I said, I've been reading and reading and reading different opinions, and the ones that seem to keep coming up more and more again is hard right turn, prepping for that hard right turn on a slope that is going away from you to the left. And that is a recipe for disaster with somebody with a left leg ruptured ACL. So in the end, she clipped the gate. She had to go in. She got airlifted first to Cortina and then to Treviso, to the trauma center to get operated. She was operated to stabilize that open fracture of her, I think, left tibia. Again, it's going to be a long road back for her just to walking. I mean, at some point they got to fix her knee too, but right now the main concern is, and I said this yesterday, if she broke something, in the comments, hundreds and hundreds of comments on my short video that got 1 million views about the crash, hundreds of comments saying she just fell, it's not life-threatening. I'm sorry, when you have an open break, there's infection possibilities, there's bone shards that could cut an artery or a vein. It's a lot more dangerous than people think. So nobody knew this yesterday, I get that. I didn't know, that's why I didn't make any predictions. I just said, let's wait and see, because we don't know exactly what happened, because given that her knee was already messed up, any break, could result in possible damage to nerves, veins, arteries, and you do have to be really careful with that. All right, back to the race. Czech Republic, or the Czechia's Jan Zabistran, across 2 seconds behind Stefan Rogentin. So Rogentin has set the early mark for this downhill portion of the men's combined. And now we have Simon Jocher and Linus Strasser. So Simon Jocher is doing the downhill portion for Team Germany. And then in the afternoon, we will have Linus Strasser doing the slalom. All this will take place within just a few hours. It's 10:30 now. I think the second event is at 1:30. They don't have to wait as long between combined events, because it's not the same person doing the event. So you have one guy now prepped and ready and doing the downhill, and then the other guy who's doing the slalom is doing his prep and getting ready on the other slope. I'll try to get the time. The time is actually 2 o'clock. So the men's 10:30 now, and the men are racing the downhill portion, and at 2 o'clock we'll have the slalom portion. Again, I will not be here. Got to get out to a previously scheduled engagement. All right, Simon Jocher has come across faster than Stefan Rogentien, and Germany is now in first place. All right, I'll try to get my setup. I was long weekend of streaming and working on videos and following the story of Lindsey Vonn's horrific accident. Yeah, definitely was a tough one to watch. I watched it live. I was, giving commentary at the time. The silence was startling during in the crowd when she went down, and then that silence was shattered by her screams coming across the different mics, team radios, and other walkie-talkies that were being used, to the point where they had to jump in and start streaming music to get her sounds of agony out of the air. It was a terrible thing. Not that we shouldn't understand the agony that a person is going through, but maybe sometimes people want to have some privacy in those moments of unbelievable pain and suffering, not just the physical part, but the emotional part as well. All right, back to the race. Racer 4, France Team 2 with Maxence Moussaton coming down now. And he is behind Simon Jocher of Germany, half a second back through the third time check. We're going to keep track up here. You can see the live timing. Join me here in the chat. Let's talk about all the stuff that's been happening yesterday with, well, the whole weekend. I mean, with Marco Odermatt missing out on a medal altogether, with Breezy Johnson being only the second woman ever from the United States to win a gold in the downhill. Who was the other one? Lindsey Vonn. Back 16 years ago in 2010. So Breezy Johnson gets that gold. All right, Moussaton in the finish in third, 1.18 seconds behind Simon Jocher of Germany, with a great result right now. And next up is going to be France 3, not France 1. They come later. Looks like the number 1 teams for the big countries. Odermatt is racing today with Loic Meillard. They'll be starting with bib 7. Italy 1 is Giovanni Franzoni and Vinatzer, the slalom specialist. Austria 1 is Vincent Kriechmeier and Manuel Feller. France 1 with number 11 is Niels Allegre and Clement Noël. And Norway 1 is weight down at 20 with Seierstad and Otlili McGrath. When I hear the Europeans say it always sounds like, they say his last name, which is McGrath, because he's American-Norwegian mixed, and they always say McGrath, but it's Otley, which is Norwegian, and McGrath, which is Irish-American. So back to the race here, watching Niels Alfond come down just 7/100ths of a second through the first time check back, and now 11/100ths. Hold on. No, he's actually only 3/100ths back. Coming through speed check 1 at 118.9, and he's now 4/10ths back through the third time check. So Niels Alfond, son of the famous Luc Alfond. Did Luc Alfond ever win a gold medal in the Olympics? I don't think so. Luc Alfond, I know he won Kitzbühel. Let's see. He's got 12 career victories, Luc Alfond. He won a bronze in the downhill at the 1996 World Championship, but never got anywhere in the Olympics. He did win the overall World Cup in 1997 by taking both the Super G and the downhill portions of the World Cup, and that was enough to get him enough points to win overall. So 1997, his final year, was the year he took it all. World Cup overall title for Luc Alfond back in 97, and this is his son, Niels, and Niels is on his way through the finish in third, 1:16 back. So let's take a look at this again. 1:16 back. What does that get you? That gets you third. It's only 2/100ths ahead of Maxence Mousseton from France 2. So you have France 3 and France 2 just 2/100ths back in third and fourth. Switzerland 4 that started first off in the race with Stefan Rogentin there, half a second back of the leader in second place, and the leader right now through the first 5 racers is Simon Jocher, Team Germany, and now we have Daniel Hemmetsberger of Austria with bib 6, and he has started. Let's check out all the split times for him. 4/100ths back at the first time check, and let's see where he is. Remember, he had that big training fall on Thursday in his second training for the downhill on Saturday. I think he came back on Friday and had a test run and was super pumped that he was able to get through with the pain that he had in his foot. He had a foot injury, like a high ankle sprain or something like that. Nothing as severe as Lindsey Vonn. Just a lot of facial lacerations from his encounter with the net, and then that ankle injury, and he had to check with the boots to see how it would go. So he's now through time check 3, 18/100ths back, so good run so far for Hemmetsberger. I think he ended up 7th on Saturday in the downhill, so good to see him out racing. Good result in the downhill given the injury. Pushing hard here. He's pretty quick through the second speed trap, and let's see what that leads to now. Through time check 4, sector 4, 3/10ths back, just ever so slightly slower, second fastest speed in the third speed trap, and we're coming now into sector 5, 4/10ths back, so he's lost another 9/100ths, but he's keeping it close and could be second. Fastest time in the last speed trap at 1:37.17, and he's just about down now. Going to come across in 1:53.07, and he takes first place for Team Austria 3. So they have taken the lead over Simon Jocher in Germany by 6/100ths of a second. A great result for Daniel Hemmetsberger with bib number 6 here. See him coming through the finish line. Okay, it's about 18 to 20 second delay today. Team's happy, getting a lot of love from the team. Some of the folks are sitting around in short sleeves. Is it that warm there? Is it really that warm? Let's see. Bormio temperature today. Bormio temperature right now. -1, so, but brilliant sunshine, and just seeing some guys around like that in the t-shirts. I'm down here in Valencia, Spain. It's going to be almost 20 degrees today here. And here we go. Marco Odermatt, bib 7, Team Swiss, Swiss 1, and he is on course and has the fastest first sector time by 1/10 of a second. And we'll see that time change right up here in the top left of your screen, folks, as he comes into sector 2. Time check there, and he has lost 6/100ths, but still has the lead by 4/100ths. Beautiful conditions again, brilliant sunshine. -1, the snow is probably pretty darn good. They've done a great job of keeping the ski run in excellent condition. Odermatt looking solid, yeah, and he is increasing his lead. Sector 3, he's now 4/10ths up. Speed trap 2, also the fastest time, the fastest speed so far. A little wonky, around 44 seconds in. Saw him coming over there, just got out of his tuck, lost it a little bit, almost got turned sideways, but he's so freaking strong, just right back at it. And now he's coming down to the 4th time check. Let's see where he's at. That's going to be at about 1:24 and change. Yes, whoa. Picked up almost a half second. Marco Odermatt between sector 3 and sector 4 time checks. Fastest time. He's got all ranks number 1 going down the right side here. Speed now, he's coming through the last speed trap in just a few seconds here. A little slower, only the fourth fastest time for Odermatt, but he's a second up, a whole second up on Daniel Hemmetsberger of Austria 3. And he is in the finish. 1 second, so he lost 700s down at the bottom, a little slower. Going to see what happened here, if anything. 147, yeah, well, like I said, we're only about 12 or 13 seconds behind, and through the finish, looked pretty solid. He just 700 slower, but it was enough to close that gap a little bit. Still a whole second ahead. So Marco Odermatt setting the tone now early after 7 racers. Again, we only have 21 racers from 21 teams from 9 countries. Let's get that right. And Odermatt has set the early bar at 1:52:08. So quick time. Who's next? Italy. Florian Schieder teamed up with Kastlunger in the slalom. I don't even know Kastlunger. So he's at Italy 4. He's their 4th best slalom guy, and they have started now. So Florian Schieder, German name, DNF. We're going to see just 20 seconds in. I got the feed over here. He passed the first time check. Had a little trouble with that first jump, coming down 10 seconds. 11:23 for the first time check, and then boom, lost it. Left ski gone. Right ski stayed on. He slid several hundred meters down the slope, but really controlled, kept the ski in front of him, kept his arms spread nice and wide, and he's down. And now let's see, he's good. He's sitting up. He's got his hand up. Thank you, I'm all right. So good to see that right away. Florian Schieder of Italy, again, German names, Italian nationality, usually means they're from the northern province of Südtirol, up by the cities of Bozen, Bolzano, up in that area, or Locarno. So maybe even Dobbiaco, the Germans call Toblach. So he's sliding down. He's off to the side a little bit. They're probably going to have to interrupt for a little bit to go get his ski back. Yep. See up here in the marquee, the scrolling marquee, they'll always keep you up to date if the race is interrupted, what the interval is to the next ski racer, and so on. So Florian Schieder out, just lost it, went down on his right side. Wow, his ski actually came off early, his left ski, and it went up, helicoptered up over the safety nets. So not going to be that easy to get his ski back. But we've seen people do this before. I think famously, you can remember, I think, was it Billy Johnson, or no, Bodie Miller. I think it was Bodie Miller who did the, oh wow, that was amazing. They got his ski back already. Yeah. Oh, tore up his ski suit. His right hamstring has a hole about this big where his ski suit was torn open. And I don't know if that's like from the back part of the binding that sticks up, or his ski pole, or what. He's checking it out as he skis down. So mid hamstring, a hole about the size of 2 eggs sitting there. Doesn't look like he's any worse for wear. Really controlled his fall nicely. Got his feet out in front of him, used his arms to spread himself to keep himself from flipping over. One ski did come off, made it a little easier. Didn't have skis going in different directions, which is always bad. Next racer is at the start, and that will be Italy 1. All right, Italy 1 following up now, and this is Giovanni Franzoni, and he's paired with Vinatzer. I think it's Marcus Vinatzer. Let me make sure before I start. Deportista, Alex Vinatzer of Italy, slalom specialist, and Franzoni will be paired with him. And is he on track? He is not yet on track. There's still having a course hold. So Giovanni Franzoni, who the other day just got silver in the downhill. He had won 3 golds in the Junior World Championships going back to 2021-22, and he won Kitzbühel just a few weeks ago. All right, so we are up to bib number 9, Giovanni Franzoni, and he is still on a hold up in the start house in today's men's combined. Thanks for watching, anybody. Everybody, let's get the chat going. Let's get the chat going. Good to see you all here. Yesterday we had about 1,500 people total for the women's downhill. On Saturday we had close to 3,000 people on watching for the men's downhill. So really enjoying doing this live commentary of the Olympic events. Always loved skiing, love sports in general. My channel is all about movement, travel, cycling, skiing, bullet trains, ferries, whatever gets you from A to B. That's what I enjoy talking about on my channel. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And here we are, Giovanni Franzoni already down to checkpoint 2. Best time at each of the checkpoints so far. Fastest speed through the first speed trap at 123 kilometers an hour. Absolutely blowing away everybody so far. And that includes Marco Odermatt. But he lost a little time now coming into sector 3. Only 5/100ths up. Still fastest through that second speed trap. And here we go, coming into the 4th time check, sector 4. This is going to be the big one. This is where Odermatt had a lot of time. He gained a lot of time. And Franzoni is going to come through there any second now. 2/10 back. So he's lost a quarter of a second between sector 3 and sector 4. That is the section that Marco Odermatt skied so brilliantly just 5-6 minutes ago. And here we go, seeing the jump. Yeah, 102 kilometers an hour, 42 meters, and landing speed of 110 kilometers an hour. Giovanni Franzoni, 18/100ths back, coming to the last time check here, and he is through in first. A great finish, made up 4/10 in the last sector alone. Let's look at that down here. You can see sector 6, Franzoni first, Odermatt only third, 4/600ths behind on the bottom. And we had noted that earlier, that Odermatt's speed coming into the final speed trap was not great. So that played itself out quite a bit here. And Franzoni was able to now take the lead by a decent margin, a quarter of a second. This isn't like the individual combined in the old days where one guy would do downhill and slalom. Now you have 2 people, one doing downhill, one doing slalom. And in those days, you could have a guy who was a great downhiller build a lead of 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds, but then a great slalom racer would be able to make up that difference, and it would be really, really close. So Austria 1 on track. Let's watch Vincent Kriechmayr. Again, almost certainly in his final Olympics, and I think he finished 6th the other day. Vincent Kriechmayr on Saturday, and he's 800ths back at the first time check. We're going to see where he finished just the other day in the Olympics. He's 3,500ths back now, and his speed is not good through the first time check. 4 kilometers an hour slower than Franzoni. So yeah, unfortunately, Kriechmayr not doing all that great today. Coming down now, he's made up some time. Look at me, I spoke too soon. Even with the slower speed, he's clearly taking a really good line and risking it all here. He's now only 1,600ths back, coming into sector 4 time check. Vincent Kriechmayr, who's teamed up with Manuel Feller for our team Austria 1, and he is coming through now sector 4 in, it's going to be high 124s. 124.50, 1500s back. Now through the last time check, he's 2700s behind. We'll get his final speed here. 128, really, really slow. My goodness, what happened here? I gotta see what happened for him to lose 11 kilometers an hour. 32, coming through the S's. He's looking good. Good tuck. He got pushed a little bit outside there at 1 minute and 40. Still looked good. Opened up a little too much on the tuck before that last little wave that he has to go over. I don't see where he lost 11 kilometers an hour in speed, but he ends up 125 back, 1.25 seconds back in third overall. And that puts him just 2 100ths ahead of his Austrian 3 teammates. So Italy won first, Swiss won second, Austria won third, then Austria 3 in fourth, just 2 hundredths of a second behind Kriechmayr and Feller. Germany then in fifth, 6 hundredths back, and then there's a half-second gap back to Switzerland 4, France 3 and France 2 in seventh and eighth, not so great, already 2.5 seconds back, and Czechia all the way back in ninth, 3.88 seconds behind. Remember, Italy 4, Florian Schieder did crash out between Sector 1 and Sector 2, but now we're France 1, the last of the number 1 teams. This is Nils Allegre teamed up with Clement Noel, and Nils Allegre is through the first 2 time checks. He's already 4 tenths back. Still could put him in third if he doesn't lose too much time per sector the rest of the way down. All right, we're coming into Sector 3 timing now. We'll see where Nils Allegre is. He was 4 tenths back, and now he's 5 tenths back, so only lost a tenth there. Still only half a second difference. Half a second still get you third at this point, so definitely on pace for a third place finish. Here we go, coming into Sector 4 now. There's about a 30-second time differential between Sector 3 and Sector 4. And he's looking good on the traverse there, and there he is through 4. Lost another 5 hundredths, but still keeping it tight. Nils Allegre doing really well. Third speed trap, very close to the best time, second best time speed so far, and now he's picked up 7 100ths. And this is where Odermatt actually lost out, so it's quite possible that Nils Allegre could still catch Odermatt for second here if he keeps it tight through the last 18 or so seconds, and he should be through, and he's through in third, 91 hundredths back. So he splits Swiss 1 and Austria 1. Nils Allegre puts France 1 into third position, 9 tenths of a second off the pace. So 2-team race right now with Italy 1 and Swiss 1, just 28 100ths behind. And then there's a big chunk back to France 1 with Nils Allegre and Clement Noel, and then the Austria 1 team of Vincent Kriechmayr and Manuel Feller. The second Austria 3 with Daniel Hemmetsberger and Marco Schwarz. They are in fifth right now, just 2 hundredths back of Kriechmayr, then another 6 hundredths back. So there's a big log jam at fourth, fifth, and sixth. 3 teams within 8 hundredths of a second. All right, who's next? Italy 2 with Dominique Paris and Sala in the slalom, and they are tied with Giovanni Fransoni through the first time check. 000, green light. So exactly the same time through that first time check. And now coming into the Sector 2 timing, Dominique Paris, who got a medal the other day in the downhill. 2 medals for Italy, silver and bronze behind Franjo van Almen of Switzerland. He's now 11 hundredths back through the second time check, and we'll see now what happens on the third one, but he's definitely looking like a contender for second or third position. 35 hundredths back now after Sector 3. And don't forget, we do have Franjo van Almen with Switzerland 2 still to come later. So back to Dominique Paris, 36-year-old Italian with Team Italy 2. And he is coming into the Sector 4 time check in just a few seconds here. We'll see if he's able to keep that 3 to 4 tenths of a second gap. Yes, he's actually made up a ton of time, and he's now only 1/100th off the pace and has the fastest speed trap speed at Sector Speed Trap 3. So a big, strong finish here. Remember, Odermatt wasn't great at the bottom. We're going to see now in just a second here. You can see the timing. Now 24/100ths back. So lost a little bit there. Still right around second or third. This is going to be tight for the second or third position. And he is through in 1:52.39. 59/100ths back. Puts him in third with Team Italy 2. So right now, Italy 1 in first, Switzerland 1 in second, and Italy 2 in third. So again, big chunks, 3 tenths from first to second, 3 more tenths from second to third, a little over 2 tenths from third to fourth, and then 3 tenths from fourth to fifth. So there's some big gaps already forming. And we still have the gold medal winner from Saturday, Franjo van Almen, still to come. We're now up to bib 13, which is Alexis Monet in Swiss 3 with Daniel Jule doing the slalom later at 2 o'clock. Again, I won't be on for that, so sorry, but got to go somewhere today in the afternoon. Glad to have you guys here. Thanks for joining as we continue our daily coverage of the Winter Olympics. Alpine skiing, I'm going to try to cover every single event where possible. I know on Friday there's no event, so that'll be an off day for me. And Alexis Monet on course and through the first time check, 1700ths back of our leaders. So a little slow up top because after 11 seconds everybody's bunched up pretty tight. Coming now into the second time check, a full 6 tenths back and losing over 5 kilometers an hour in that sector. So hey everybody, welcome. We're in the men's team combined Alpine skiing event from Bormio, the same course as the other day for the men's downhill, and now we're doing the combined. We have 21 teams. This is already the 14th one, so we're already 2/3 of the way through. We're only 40 minutes into our broadcast today, into our live stream here. So thanks for joining. Happy to see you all here. Alexis Monet making up a lot of time now in that Sector 4, and it looks like he is in the lead, 13/100ths ahead. He was disappointed the other day, and he's increasing that lead, now 2 tenths up at the final time check. So we're going to maybe have a surprise here. I know Fransoni was fast at the bottom, and Odermatt was slow, so look for Monet to slot himself in second, and he is through in second, 1700ths back. So Alexis Monet has split the Italy 1 team and the Swiss 1 team, so Fransoni and Odermatt downhillers, and now Alexis Monet, after a really disappointing day on Saturday in the specialty downhill, has had a great run, especially sectors 3 and 4, where he blew everybody away. Fastest time by 26/100ths in sector 3, or an advantage over Fransoni, and then almost a half a second of an advantage in sector 4. So a fantastic, whoa, what a save too on the big jump. Monet with so much speed, Odermatt just looking like, holy shit, how did he land that? Monet absolutely going for it incredibly here today. And now, yeah, he's pumped. He's giving himself the whole chest thumping. And here we go, Franjo van Almen, Saturday's Olympic champion in the men's downhill, now doing the team combined alongside Tanguy Neff. This is Swiss 2, Team 2, and Franjo van Almen, who won the other day, dominated the downhill in Crans-Montana last week. I think was also a top 3 finisher in Kitzbühel. So he's had a heck of a run the last few weeks, and he's looking to add to that. He's super fast, a little wide through the turn right here at 30 seconds before sector 2. And yeah, you can see he was sliding. He lost 3/10. So a fast start, lost 3/10, but has already made it up here. If you look, he's right at even time, 52:58 through that third time check. A little slower, just under 100 kilometers an hour through the second speed trap. And now we will see. This is where Alexis Monet really blew everybody's socks off, coming through that second, the third and fourth, the fourth and fifth sector times, and Franjo van Almen up 2/10, so even faster than Alexis Monet was. So he's in first now, 2/10 up, still 2/10 up through the final time check, really wide on the big jump at 1 minute and 20 in. Speed is a little slow, only the 11th fastest speed coming through that fourth and final speed check. And here we go, he is in fourth. Oh, so yeah, really tough time off that last jump in the last few gates. Franjo van Almen gets carried wide in several of those turns, lost his speed, lost 6 kilometers an hour at the final speed trap, and lost almost 7/10. Almost 7/10. Look down here, yeah, 68 100s in sector 6, lost by Franjo van Almen. So right now we have Italians leading, Giovanni Franzoni in first, followed by 3 Swiss teams in a row. The Austrians pretty beat up, down in 7th and 8th. Italy 1st and 5th. And then 2nd, 3rd, and 4th for Switzerland. Swiss 3 with Alexis Monet in 2nd. Swiss 1 with Marco Odermatt in 3rd. And Swiss 2 with Franjo van Almen in 4th. Dominique Paris in 5th right now. And then the time gaps start to get big. Niels Allegre of France in 6th, almost a second back. And then the 2 Austrian teams, 1.25 and 1.27 seconds back. All right, on course, Mattia Cassé, Italy 3. And he's lost 2/10 through the second time check. A little slow up there as well, only the 9th fastest speed on the speed trap there. And he'll be coming into the sector 3 time check any second now. Only 20 seconds between those two time checks. Mattia Cassé. Yeah. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Glad you could join today. I know it's Monday, it's a work day. Not as many people home and able to watch, or if you're watching from your office, I won't tell anybody. But glad to see you all here. Yesterday, of course, the big news we all saw, we almost all heard by now, Lindsey Vonn crashing almost predictably in the downhill and brutally, sadly, suffering an open fracture of her left lower leg. I believe the tibia and fibula, the 2 bones down there. I think the tibia open fracture, so usually that means through the skin. And you could hear the screams. I was watching and listening on my laptop here while I was doing the commentary over here. And just to hear the screams, it was really, you know how you get that feeling in your stomach, just really bad. Just sad to see her go out that way. A lot of people saying the knee injury didn't cause the crash, but after reading as much as I possibly could throughout yesterday afternoon and into this morning from coaches and officials and everybody, everybody's got an opinion, but what I liked was when they described that right before the turn where she hit the gate that technically caused the crash. It's a very tight right turn that you're getting into, and you're coming down a steep hill into a tight right turn to make that gate. And normally hills are banked with you, so more of the pressure is on the inside foot, which would have been the right foot. But in this case, it's on the left foot because the slope is actually going away from you at that point on the race course. You're going into a right turn while the slope is falling away to your left. And that puts an incredible amount of pressure on your outside ski, which in her case is the left ski. And that's the left knee that was so damaged a week before in Crans-Montana in that terrible crash that she had there. So while people might say, yeah, she hit a gate and went down, I'd be willing to make the argument, at least to open the discussion, by saying there was too much strain on her left leg on a falling away to the left downhill side slope when you're trying to make a right turn. And that is, what do they call it, counterlevered or counterbalanced or whatever, where normally you're like how luges and bobsleds, they go through the ice canal, and they're always following that contour perfectly. Nothing ever falls away from them. Everything is geared to follow the nature of physics and centrifugal force. So she's in a hard right while the slope is going away and down to her left. Puts all that pressure on her left leg, which with the brace was probably rattling around really, really hard. And maybe the pain got so much that she tried to cut the corner even tighter than normal to stop falling away so much, to get pressure off that left leg, and she went down. All right, so she's had surgery, she's in recovery. There's no more danger, but open breaks are always bad because of possible infection, all kinds of things. So they got her to a higher level trauma center in Treviso, about 2 hours south of Cortina, and had her operation last night. And hopefully we'll hear more positive news and maybe even see her first social media reaction and message to her fans on that. All right, Leto of Finland is on his way down. He's about half a second back. Matteo Cassé ended up in 10th with Italy 3, a good 1.5 seconds back. And now Elian Leto of Finland also competed, of course, in Saturday's specialty downhill, coming across the traverse there. He hits a gate, blows right through it, and just about down. He's coming into the final 5th sector time, 95 100ths back. Still a pretty good run. If he can keep it together, he has an absolute chance of being 6th or 7th here. Put some really good people behind him. So Elian Leto comes through just about now. Yes, 1.7, lost a lot of time. He lost 8/10. Not quite, 3/4 of a second. 75 hundredths just in the last section alone, from sector 5 time check to the finish line, and that puts him in 11th out of 15 finishers. We've had one DNF so far today. Florian Schieder of Italy lost it, went down on his right side, tore open his ski suit on his central right hamstring area, big rip in his ski suit there. Don't see that often unless it's like on ice. So he went down. That was our only DNF. We now have a big surprise from the other day. Negemir from the US teamed up with Kyle Negemir and River Radamus, and Negemir finished 10th in Saturday's downhill, and he has started strong, just 600s back at the first time check. So he's riding high after a really great finish the other day in the downhill. Kyle Negemir comes through the second time check 3/10 back, a little slow. So his first speed trap, not great, but we're going to see now in sector 3. That's coming up in about 14, 13, 12 seconds or so. The lag today between the live footage, or I should say, the live timing comes first and the live footage is about 15, 16 seconds behind. All right, 1/4 of a second. He actually made up some time coming into the sector 3 time check. A great race so far. Speed again, not quite all that great, but maybe he's just taking a slightly different line. He looks really good. Great tuck. Great technique around the turns, keeping that one pole tightly tucked in on the inside of the turn. And he's coming through now, 3/4 of a second back at the 4th time check. So he lost half a second between 3 and 4. Ooh, and I can see why. Came over a bump and the right ski went up in the air and he was able to pull it back in, but yeah, definitely slowed him down, and now he's 9/10 back, lost another 1400s, super slow into the final time check. And I guess when you have a problem like that in the lower section where it's not quite as steep, the time losses start to compound themselves. So coming now through to the finish, he's lost a ton of time, another 1.2, 1.3 seconds, almost missed the 4th gate from the end. So a tough bottom half of the race from Kyle Negamir. So unfortunately not able to to live up to the great result from the other day, Saturday, where he finished 10th. He's a young racer. We'll see him more probably in the Super G as well. So he's in 13th right now, a full 2 seconds back. So once again, yeah, wow, what an acrobatic save. Right ski caught a groove, went up in the air. He hit some washboard bumps as well. You can see the coach going like, oh, and he saved both of them. All right, Austria 2. So Austria has 4 teams. We've got 4 teams left in the start house, actually 3, because Stefan Babinski of Austria is on course, and 32 100s back through sector 2. He is teamed up with Fabio Gstrein, also had a famous skier father, Bernhard Gstrein, back in the 90s, I think. Won a bunch of races for Austria, maybe even some medals. Let's see. Bernhard Gstrein. Bernhard Gstrein, Olympic athlete, now 60 years old. Hey, he's 6 days older than me. Look at that. Bernhard Gstrein. He won a silver medal in the men's Alpine Combine, and his kid today is in the Alpine Combine. He's a relative. He's not the father. He's a relative. He's the uncle. All right, back to the time check. Babinski doing well, only 2/10 back at the 4th sector time, 2600s back at sector 5. He's having a great race. He could put himself into 3rd or 4th because Odermatt's 2800s back, but had a bad lower section. And Stefan Babinski is in 9th. He lost a whole second in the last 18. What happened here? Traverse is clean into the shadows, kind of clipped the gate a little bit. You can see the drone flying right behind him. Opened up a little over the wave. Something must have happened there, because I don't know how. That didn't look bad. He lost a whole second in the final sector 6. Drops him all the way down to 9th. All right, so that puts Austria 1 and 7th, Austria 3 and 8th, Austria 2 and 9th. The 3 Austrian teams separated by only 5 100ths of a second in places 7, 8, and 9. So again, top 3 so far. Italy won with Giovanni Franzoni, Switzerland 3 with Alexis Monet, Switzerland 1 with Marco Odermatt. Those are the top 3. And then Franjo Bonalman, the winner of the gold medal the other day on Saturday in the downhill, is in 4th, just 1400ths behind Marco Odermatt. All right, the final Austrian team now. Austria 4 is on course. That's Raphael Haser, and he'll be, is it Mario Matt or Michael Matt? Of Austria, the slalom guy. 32 years old. Michael Matt. Yep. Michael Matt is the slalom partner of Raphael Haser. So they're coming down now. They are doing well. Only 1500ths back at the 3rd time check. So really solid. I wonder if the course is even getting a little faster The problem is that the the racers are doing great up top, and then after about sector 4, everything goes to pieces, and we're seeing people lose a lot of time. So Rafael Hasser now coming into sector 4. The time check is going to be at about 1:24 and change, 1:24.68, 3/10 back overall. See how much he loses now, sector 4 to sector 5. It's only another 10 seconds to there. And yeah, he's lost 3/10. He lost the same amount in 10 seconds that he had lost in the first minute and 20. So 7/10 back at sector 5. Final speed check, 1:36, 7th overall, and through the finish in 8th, 1:27 back. So the a tight group there, the Austrians. Two of them actually tied. So Austria won, if you look here, in 7th, 1:25 back. Austria 4, 1:27 back. Austria 3, 1:27 back. And Austria 2, 1:30 back. So they are 4 teams from the same country, from Austria, all within 5/100ths of a second. That'll make for some interesting results and some excitement in the second half of this race this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Again, won't be able to cover it, but I'll follow up tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning we have to, what is tomorrow morning? I think I'm trying to get back to the schedule real quick. Tomorrow morning, let's see, we got 3 more riders here, or 2 more riders here. Next rider has started, but I just want to get real quick. The Super G for the men is on Wednesday. The women's team combined is tomorrow. So we'll be doing the same thing again tomorrow. We'll have the women's downhill at 10:30 in the morning, and then the slalom at 2 in the afternoon. So Breezy Johnson, who won yesterday's women's downhill, will be back on slope tomorrow for that. All right, we are down to our 2 last teams, Norway 1 and Norway 2. Norway 1 on course, that's Adrian Seierstad, and he's teamed up with Atle Lee McGrath, and they are about half a second back through the 3rd sector time check. Speed not all that great, only the 15th fastest out there, losing almost 5 kilometers an hour. So we got Seierstad, and then we got Selag and Timon Haugen. Selag, I don't even know him as a downhiller. I would have to look up his profile. Timon Haugen, a decent slalom guy, but McGrath is really, this is their number 1 team. Seierstad is a very decent downhiller, and Atle Lee McGrath is a very solid slalom specialist. So they are now coming through the finish. Team 20 of 21 in 1:53.69 puts them 1.89 seconds behind. And there we have it, 1 racing team to go. And let's just see, what's his name? Seliak. Let's look him up. Let's do him the honor as our final racer of the day. Downhill. Simon Seliak. And yeah, he is a Norwegian skier, 22 years old, turning 23 in a week and a half, from Norway, and he is active today, but I don't see any other scheduled events from him after today, so I don't think he qualified. I don't think he qualified for the Super G specialty event. He did do official trainings for the downhill, which is required. You must do, I think, at least 1 or 2 downhill trainings to be allowed to race the downhill. You can't go down blind on these things. You won't be allowed to race. And I don't think he actually will be in the Super G. So I don't see anything else scheduled for him there. All right, that is that. They are 3/4 of a second back. Nope, they are 1 second and 10 100ths, 1.1 seconds back at the third sector time. Speed only the 17th fastest through that second speed trap. And now they're going to come through the sector 4 time check. And let's see what we got there. Let's see. All right, 1.46 seconds. Speed is still only the 17th fastest, and now they're coming into that final sector time. Sector 5, 2 seconds back. So a good chance that they are going to be probably 17th, 18th. Let's see how they finish here. And they are through in 19th, 2.92 seconds behind. All right, guys, that is it. Fairly short and sweet today. We are through the first half of the team combined. So morning downhill, afternoon slalom, 2 different racers racing for the team. Some of the countries had 4 teams, like Austria, Switzerland had 3, Italy had 4, Norway had 2. And the standings right now, the top 3 are Italy with Giovanni Fransoni in first in 150, 180, 1700s back in second is Alexis Monet with Swiss 3 team. Then Marco Odermatt, who's teamed up with Loic Meillard, also Switzerland, in third, 28 100s back. Then the Franjo van Almen, the Olympic champion from the other day, in fourth. He'll be teamed up with Tanguy Neff, 4200s back. And then fifth place is Dominique Paris, paired up with Sala of Italy. So Italy first, then 3 Swiss teams, then Italy again. The Austrian teams, 4 of them beaten fairly badly today, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Hopefully, Marco Schwartz and Manuel Fellow, who are really, really great slalom specialists, will be able to make up some of that time and get into the medal standings, medal contention later on. All right, guys, I've got to run. It was good to see you today. Thanks for watching, everybody. And we will see you tomorrow morning. Again, I can't make this afternoon slalom bit, but we'll talk about it tomorrow. And we will cover the women's team combined tomorrow from Cortina, with Breezy Johnson, the women's downhill Olympic champion, headlining the American team there. All right, take care, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.